Hello dear ones, this is Eleonora from the channel The Awakening Path, and today I will talk about the fourth wave of volunteer, the star seeds. They are our special kids especially labeled as autistic and or ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Those kids, they came with a button that say, do not comply. And I'll explain in a little bit why. They started coming on the year 2000, and there was a big influx after the year 2012. Why? Why they started coming that time? Because the vibration of the planet reached a state that would support the light. And the human collectivity also. So many of those kids, they come with a special mission, not to comply with the old system. That if you're gonna think well, that old system is broken and really doesn't work that good for our benefit. You have to work like crazy, like 2 jobs. You are a mom, you cannot stay with your kids. You send your kids to somebody else take care, the system take care, program them. And then you pay more than 50% of tax. And the rest that comes back to you, you just use to eat, dress, have a shelter. And if you don't pay attention, if you watch too much television, to buy a lot of things that you don't need it. And to make everybody fearful, depressed, it's just not working. It's just not working. So that old system is not compatible with the new earth. With the high dimension that the earth is going to, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. It's not compatible. So those kids started to come to build the new system and help break the old one. So that's why they come with button that say, do not comply. And you cannot make them comply. The school system, parenting, and society, through programming, especially the programming of do what I say or else, you have consequences. That has been working with a few that try to rebel. But those kids want to work with them. You can kill them, but they're not going to comply. So we, in the old system, we have to adapt to them. They cannot adapt to us. Those kids, they come with a lot of light. They are really high vibrational kids that's vibrating from 400, that's reason, and up, especially love. And when they are in an environment, in a low vibration environment of anger, fear, depression, it's very hard for them. It's very hard for them because they are like sponges. They are highly empathic. They can feel everything in a deeper level that you cannot experience, that you have no idea. Some of them can read your thoughts. Some of them can feel, literally feel what you feel. You are talking to them, saying one thing, but your emotions say something different. They're reading your emotions. And it's very hard for them. And another thing is, we live in a very, very polluted. Our way of life is very polluted, chemically polluted. The air is polluted, the water, the food, without talk about all those medicines. So those medicines and all those chemicals, the vibration of them is 50 and down. So that's why even the doctors are prescribing a healthy diet for the kids. A diet away from processed food, of fruits and vegetables that are alive, because they are high vibrational food. Even the doctors know that. Even the doctors are telling that. And those kids that you are able to keep them away from chemicals, they have a better chance to cope with their energy and have a better response and interact because they are not fractured. When they are bombarded with too much negativity, to protect themselves, they create a bubble and they stay on that bubble. And they interact with the outside world as less as possible. So in the autism spectrum, for the autism, there are many spectrums. And it should depend on each kid. It would have a different, some are highly functional, and the ones that are highly functional, most of them are highly, highly intelligent. They're genius. They're really genius. I do have a son that is labeled as autistic. I don't label him as autistic, I just label him as a genius because he is the smartest kid I ever knew. He taught himself how to read when he was 2. You can have an idea from that. I think he has a photographic memory and he remembers everything he reads. I don't know how he does. So he had a really hard beginning because in the first 2 years of his life, he was very sick. Even though I was always giving him only things that are organic, not processed food, and all those things, but he was always constipated. And all the chemicals from the medicines, those immunizations, all those things, his body was trying to get rid of. And that was his problem. And to help him, I was giving more chemicals. He really started getting better when I switched to a homemade syrup, and then everything started changing, and that's another story. But the thing is, in the case of my son, he is highly functional because I was able to keep him away from chemical with the best of my ability. And also, even though he had all the therapies, I always make sure that they would adapt the therapy to him. Do not force him to do what he don't want to do, unless it's something is extremely necessary. So that's my goal with my son. Allow him to create. Allow him to be who he truly is and not just conform. And he's doing great. I'm gonna make another video explaining more, talking more about how you can help your autistic kids. And it's very interesting that from the last 2 years, I've been meeting a lot of people, a lot of mothers of autistic kids, and they are always starseeds. They are highly spiritual. I'm really sure that those mothers was chosen to that role of supporting their kids, to allow them to be who they are, to tell them how amazing they are, to give them confidence, and really give them the base for them to fulfill their mission when the times come. And you probably didn't hear about that yet, but we are with our foot in the photon belt. If you don't know what photon belt is, like that. The sun, our earth rotates around the sun. Our sun rotates around Alcyone. And Alcyone rotates around the galactic center. There is photon belt that comes from the galactic center, make a loop, a vertical loop in Alcyone, and goes. All the astros that orbits Alcyone cross this belt twice. In the case of Earth, in the velocity, in the speed that Earth do that movement, it takes 2,000 years. And we are there. It's already started years ago, the process to really get completely in the light. I think I heard this take more than 30 years. But the transition can happen anytime. Even this year, next year, or maximum 2028. When that happens, Earth will be compatible only with the high vibrations of love and up. And when that happens, all those kids that are in that bubble protecting themselves against their environment that's low vibration, they will be able to break free and really be who they truly are. And then they will be like superheroes, genius, like some already are able to do. So there is a lot of hope. There is a lot of good things planned to happen to us. Planned to happen to each one of us that choose love instead of fear at least 51% of the time. That's all you have to do, to go to the positive timeline. You'll probably not understand much what I'm talking about, but I'm going to talk about those things more. But those are the fourth wave of volunteer, our special kids, that they are most of them are labeled as autistic and ADHD. Much love and light to you, and see you next time.